Hey guys, me again. So thank you for watching these videos. I really appreciate it. And please let me know if you guys have any concerns or worries or anything like that. But I want to share my screen with you because I want to talk to you a little bit about the gradebook. So um, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I've made a lot of these videos tonight. So the Epicenter gradebook, the parent portal gradebook, is basically very complicated. They don't make it easy, but they do that. There's a method behind their madness, and I've heard rumors that they're going to change it back, and I hope so badly that they do. But in the meantime, the point is the Epic Parent Portal gradebook is very complicated. It is meant to inform parents if their students are behind pace. The grade will reflect the low pace. So for example, in the past, parents would look at the grade book and say, oh, my son's making a 95, he's doing great. But they never looked at the pace, and the pace would show, oh, they're at 6% or 10%, and you're 3 months into school year. And so what Epic did is if your pace is low, it'll automatically give you a very low grade. But that they took out the easy access for pacing the supplements, and they tell us teachers you have to supplement. So it's kind of a problem. So anyway, I created an offline gradebook, or I call it an offline gradebook. Technically it is online, but basically I just wanted to take the time to show you guys what it looks like and what it means and how to read it. So let me share my screen with you, and let's see. Okay, so this is a okay, so this is a student that's not a real student, but I wanted to demonstrate what it would look like. So let's say you are in Compass or Odyssey-ware or Plato or whatever core curriculum you're in. This is what many of you think your grade is. You think, oh, well, I'm 30% completed in my core and I got a 95, so I'm doing good. And the reality is that's not it at all. So let's say, well, let me explain. It's because you have these supplements that are all equally weighted. So your study island work is equal to your compass work, which is equal to your mind play work, and etc. Now here's where students will be like, that's not really fair because I spend 7 hours in my core and I only spend 2 hours in mind play. How come they're equal? Well, it's because if you spend the 2 hours in mind play, you've got a 100% across the board. So it's going to help your grade that they're all equal if you're doing your work. If you're doing your work, then you're going to get 100% for participation. I'm getting ahead of myself. So here, this one is easy to understand. This is the grade that you have in your core curriculum. This is the percent complete. Study Island. In Google Classroom, every week, I assign Study Island, which is about 2 blue ribbons a week. If you're doing those blue ribbons, then you earn a 2 out of 2, and whatever grade you have in Study Island, that is your grade. However, let's say that you did 0 out of 2. Okay, I'm going to give you a 0, which you can see significantly changes the grade. Now let's say you did 1 out of 2. I'm going to give you a 50 because you did not do what you were supposed to do. Better, but not great, okay? But if you do everything you're supposed to do, you're going to get the grade that is reflected in your study island. Mind play. This is, I will do these progress notes every 4 weeks. So for this, it's the 600 minutes. You're supposed to do Dreambox and Mind Play for 30 minutes a day, which is 150 hours a week, which is 600 minutes a month, or 10 hours a week. So what I do is every 4 weeks when I go to enter the grade, I plug in In MindPlay, I plug in the report, the effective days, and if you made those 600 minutes, whatever minutes they are, whether it's 500 or 320, I will plug it in there, and whatever 320 divided by 600 is, that is your grade. So for that one, it would be 53. Okay, so IXL, same thing. Google Classroom has X amount of IXL per week. Typically, it's 5 to 8. So this, if you did 5 out of 5 IXLs, and then I will average, well, typically, if you did 5 out of 5, I'll just go ahead and give you a 100 on IXL. If you did 4 out of 5, then whatever that is, whatever grade is, 4 divided by 5 is 80. So you would get an 80 for the week, for that month. Now keep in mind, this is a monthly report. So it's not going to be 5. It's going to be 5 times 4, which is roughly 20. But I wanted you to understand that whatever the amount is in a 4-week period, that's what number this denominator will be. And Epic Live is at least 2 sessions each week. 8th graders have 3 sessions each week because you have math, science, and English. And so however many Epic Live sessions you were supposed to have for the month, that is what that denominator will be. And then it's just a matter of you get a 100% for participation and the 0% for no participation. If your Epic Live teacher does a Google Classroom, which I do a Google Classroom for my Epic Live, this grade, the participation grade might fluctuate. So let's say you're showing up for the Epic Live sessions, but you are not doing the Google Epic Live assignments. That might affect your grade. One thing I want to tell you is if you do the Epic Live assignments, they're typically IXL. So it's kind of a 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing, because most Epic Live teachers are using IXL as their homework. The offline work, I am assuming it's 100% until I see you. If I see you and you didn't do all of your journal entries or you didn't do all of your novel study workbooks, then that grade may change. But this is, I'm sharing this with each parent and student so you can see what your true grade is. So I wanted to make sure you understood how to read that. And down here, you could see where it says ELA, and this is where it says math. Now, most of you will have a science and social studies tab as well. This demo does not have one. But this is where you can find your student's grade. And again, I'm going to send you that link. Okay, one thing I want to share with you is I have estimated the amount of time you should spend in each supplement. Basically, what I did is I said 2 hours per supplement. But really, that's very subjective because Dreambox is not 2 hours. It's 150 minutes. So it's a little less than 2 hours or a little more than 2 hours. But offline, might only take you, 30 minutes. It depends on how good you are. It might take you an hour. It might take you an hour and a half. But for purposes of estimating, I just went ahead and put 2 hours for everything because there are some subjects like Blue Ribbon, like Study Island Blue Ribbons. I know that we typically can do a Blue Ribbon in 30 minutes. So if you're doing 2 Blue Ribbons, now this diagram right here, you guys, is for both ELA and math. Okay, so if it does take me 30 minutes to do a ELA Blue Ribbon, and I'm doing that twice a week, that's an hour. So that would be an hour for ELA and an hour for math. So I wanted to make sure you understood what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to give you an estimation of if you're spending 20 hours a week on school, you have enough time to do this work. And I've broken it down here for you. Let's say I only want to work 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to spend 2.5 hours a day in my core. That's 10 hours a week. Because I have now this is just a made up scenario, but I want you to understand. Pretend this is my schedule. Because I have an Epic Live session on Mondays, I'm not going to do IXL on Mondays. Okay, I'm not going to do my offline work on Mondays. I'm going to do my core, I'm going to do my daily dream box, and I'm going to do my Epic Live. Typically in an Epic Live session, you will also do a study island session. Science is not that way because in science, there's only like 12 blue ribbons for the whole year. But in ELA and in math, you typically have an Epic Live session, and right after you have a study island session. So you will spend 4.5 hours a day, and that is 18 hours a week. And, give or take a rough week, I estimate that 20 hours a week. This is just a rough schedule. But it's recommended that you make a schedule, whatever it is. If it's 2 days a week, if it's 4 days a week, if it's 5 days a week. This is just to give you an idea of what you can do at home to make sure you're allotting enough time for what you need to do to get all of your work done. So please let me know if you have any questions or if you need any help in making a schedule. I have some students that I make their schedule for them, and it's broken down by the hour and the day and exactly what subject they're working on and what day and what hour. And I incorporate Epic Live, I incorporate reading, I incorporate lunches and everything in that schedule. So it's time consuming for me to make that schedule for you. So please don't ask me to make it if you're not going to follow through with it. But if you do plan on doing it, you really need the help, I will do that for you. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys soon.